Hello everyone, Alex BIMitUp here. Today I have a real treat for you. I'm going to show you how to create multiple restrooms in Revit. So talking about plumbing people, real plumbing. So back-to-back carriers, single-handed carriers, wall-mounted toilets. We have our back-to-back lavatories, urinals, a lot of sanitary drainage and venting. We're going to leave domestic water for another video. So what are we going to do? We're going to bring in our architectural link. We're going to set it up. We're going to bring our carriers back to back, single-handed, our toilets. We're going to align them, connect them so that we can read the drain fixture units passing through. We're going to pipe a lot of sanitary drainage and venting for them. I'm going to give you a bunch of tips and tricks. A urinal, we're going to pipe it as well. We're going to bring in our lavatories. We're going to do back to back. We're going to connect that stack to the main. We're going to bring in other fixtures. We're going to tag all our fixtures. And then I'm going to show you how with the use of parameters, you can automatically create your plumbing fixture schedules for both your plumbing fixtures and your different drains. So these tables here are going to be automatically populating as you drop your plumbing fixtures throughout your model. So I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned a lot, and I'll see you in Revit. And before we even start, think about it, it makes sense. If you like this kind of content, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit that bell so you get notifications. You don't miss any of our videos. And if you're serious about your professional training, go ahead and visit us at BIMitUp.com. And over there you can contact me directly for some top-of-the-line training. Alright, so let's start our new project. For that we go here under Models, New. We're going to select our template, and this template is available at BIMitUp.com. It's called Plumbing Template. So let's hit open, and now that we have selected our template file, let's just click OK. We're going to create a new project. This is a brand new project, but it's my template, so it contains all the pipe types and some of the families that I will be needing here. Now let's link in our architectural model. For that we go here under Insert, and then we go Link Revit. We navigate to our model location. In this case is the BIMitUp Lab Center Architectural. I'm going to keep the positioning as Auto Origin to Origin. And for the coordinate system in Revit, check out my other video, Revit Coordinate System. So here it is. And one thing we always want to do is click on our link and make sure we pin it in place so that we don't move it accidentally. Another thing I like to do is to change the display color of the plumbing fixtures in the architectural background. In this case, it's pretty obvious that these are the plumbing fixtures, but my plumbing fixtures are most likely going to be displayed in white as well. So in order to avoid confusion and be able to differentiate them, I'm going to change this color. So for that we go VV, Visibility Graphics, or VG, and then we go into Revit Links, and then under my link I'm going to customize my display, and let's go to plumbing fixtures, and then for plumbing fixtures I'm going to have the lines be a very particular color, let's say this green here. Okay, I'll click OK, 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 and now I have my plumbing fixtures displayed in green. Now let's drop some MEP plumbing fixtures, right? And for that I'm going to go to the BIMitUp catalog. So I'm going to go under Revit Families, Plumbing. So let's go ahead and drop our carriers first. The carriers that are typically used are the Zern 1201 series. And let's first drop our back-to-back. We want to make sure that we use Place on Work Plane, and typically you would hit the space bar for families to rotate, but in this case it's better to just drop it here at 0 elevation because you're using the carrier feet as a reference, and then you simply rotate 90 degrees. And for me it's very useful to draw a little line and then simply snip to the midpoint and use it as a reference, so I know that this is the midpoint of this chase. You can also snap to midpoint, but you know, I like having my little line here in the meantime.
and then I do align, and I align to this line my carrier. But before we go to the toilets, let's drop the other carrier here. This is a single-handed carrier, so let's go ahead and drop it right here. Again, I want place on work plane, and in this case we can see that, let's rotate this 90 degrees, and in this case we have the left-handed, right, and what we want is the right hand. So you either download the correct family, or you can also, you know, simply mirror this. Make sure you don't copy it, and then this would work as well. So let me align both carriers, and let's drop those water closets. So for that I go to families, plumbing, water closets. Those are gonna be wall mounted water closets, so I go under wall mounted, and then let's assume those are top spot a back discharge wall mounted water closet. So I'm dropping it into the family, and again I'm dragging and dropping from the BIMitUp catalog, which is available at BIMitUp.com. And this one you can rotate using the space bar. This is a very nice family because it's not really a wall hosted family. I have complete freedom on it, so if the architect moves his wall, you know, it doesn't break my model. Alright, so for now let's just drop it at 0. We'll adjust that in a little section, and let's make sure that we align our closet with the architecture's closet. And one thing we want to do is, you see how this is covering my toilet underneath? So for that I go to Visibility Graphics Overrides, and then under Revit Links I click here under Underlay, and typically I would click on the halftone as well, but this background has already been half-toned because of a template. We talk about templates in another video. For now let's just hit here on Underlay, and then you see how now I can see my toilet perfectly, which is what I want. Now let's align our carrier to our toilet. So here's a connector, and then you want to align either this connector or the center line of the carrier. Now let's cut a quick section here to make sure that we have this at the correct elevation. Let's double click on our section. Let's have this as fine, and let's keep this as wireframe. So let's come out of our toilet, our back discharge. We need to make sure that we have the correct pipe type. All these pipe types are available at the BIMitUp website. We're going to use a waste generic pipe type, and we need to make sure that we are in the correct system. Those systems are also in the template at the BIMitUp website. So we come out of our toilet, and we can see that our toilet turns yellow because yellow is the color that we have assigned to our sanitary drain system. And now we are aligning to this outlet, our toilet, and right now I'm just worried about aligning my toilet discharge with the inlet of the carrier, right? And it's coming off a little bit from the architectural edge. But if you want to get fancy, you can create a carrier family that has adjustable plates, and you know, you can get it to the inch. And at this point, this is not my priority. I just want connectivity in the system. So I'm going to extend that and connect to the carrier. We can see that the carrier turned yellow as well, letting us know that the system is well connected. And you can mirror this toilet. I typically don't like mirroring fixtures because I want to keep my hot water and cold water connectors where they should be, but just for the sake of time and not making this too long, I will mirror this particular one. So I'm going to select this as my axis, and now I can come out of the carrier if I want to, or the toilet, it's fine, and just connect to my toilet. I can see that there's connectivity, it turned yellow. One thing that is very useful is creating a 3D view, and we need to clean this up a little bit. So I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna turn off the architectural link. Okay. And I'll just focus on my piping. I'm gonna be using this as a monitor. And right now I have the visual style as hidden line, and it looks really nice. You know, you see how it hides everything behind, but it doesn't perform too well when you have too much stuff in your model, because your computer has to be constantly thinking about what to hide. So instead of that, I like shaded, and this is pretty friendly, pretty useful, and you know, it's pretty clear as well. Okay, so this is our carrier. By the way, this is our back-to-back carrier. That's our vent connection, and this is our single hand carrier that we had to mirror. Remember that they have left-handed and right-handed carriers. So anyway, I have here my 3D view. Typically I would take this view to the other screen, but in this case I'm going to tile my windows so you can see what's happening in just one monitor. So now we want to add another toilet, and what I do is I typically get this toilet and I copy it, and I get it, you know, like very close to where I want to be, and then I align to the architectural toilet. Now I need to align with my toilet. I want to align my carrier, and then I can move my section slightly up. And it would be a good idea to maybe have your carrier family come out at the right elevation all the time, or for you to keep in mind at which elevation this carrier is coming out, so that you drop your toilet at the correct elevation. You don't have to be aligning this like I'm doing here, but I'm showing you the worst case scenario. So in this case, since this toilet here was copied out of this one, this is already at the correct elevation of the carrier. So we can simply click on our discharge line and connect to our carrier. And one thing I'm going to tell you is that if you have, you know, if you're coordinating a very large ceiling space and you're navigating your pipe run throughout that ceiling, and it's a very long run, then you're dropping a lot of invert, right? But if you just have a short chase like this one, and it's your chase, you have nobody else here, you own this chase, you know, sloping pipe is just wasting your time. So in this case I'm not sloping it. You're welcome to do it if you want to waste time, but in my case I don't really have too much time to waste. So I'm gonna draw pipe right here, and I'm connecting these two carriers, and I'm gonna take out of this carrier right here, I want to have a clean out, right? So let's take it out maybe up to here. We can take it up to, let's say, 18 inches of elevation, and then take it to the wall. And you know, I want to have this as fine, so I know exactly what's going on with my piping and my fittings. And obviously on your printing view, the one that's going to be dropped on your sheet, you want to have a detail level that is consistent with your company's standard. In this case I want to have absolute control, so I want to see my two-line display. We can take this guy and we can cap it. We do cap open ends, and that's our clean out right there. And then we can upgrade this fitting from an elbow into a sanitary T, and then from here up you would have your vent line. Actually, we can get that started. For that, I'm going to rotate this section 90 degrees, and I'm not a big fan of sections, but when it comes to carriers, I find them very useful. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to take this pipe up, and I'm going to change this from waste to vent, and I need to make sure that I'm on the correct system, which is sanitary vent. And now we can connect without messing anything up. And assuming you don't need too much venting, you obviously need to refer to your local building code. But in this case, I'm going to have this pipe be 3 inches, and it automatically places the reducer there. And now I'm going to take it up a little bit, maybe up to here. I don't want to go too high because I would be wasting money in pipe, right? So anyway, I'm going to extend my section just a tiny bit, so I might be using it in the future. So I'm going to click on my vent line. I'm going to do create similar, and my carriers admit 2-inch vent line. Okay, so I'm going to do this one right here. Notice that our pipe type automatically placed this vent T as opposed to the sanitary T that I have by default on the waste pipe type. So let's do create similar now, and then this is going to be for the other carrier. So that's a 2-inch line. And now see, this is my carrier connection right here, the vent. So I want to do align, and I'm aligning to this point, this line, and then I take this and connect it to my carrier, right? That's this line right here. And then I do something similar with my back-to-back. And the back-to-backs are a little bit tricky. Sometimes you cannot see them. So what I do is I play a little bit with my section and I get very close to it. And then on the section view, I click on the carrier and I see the connector right here, you see? So that's the connector. So what I do is I do align, I click on the connector, then I click on the pipe, and then I extend my pipe to connect to my carrier. You can do that also from the 3D views. You know, you gotta pick whatever's easiest for you on the fly. I like working from the 3D view a lot more than I like working from sections, because you know I don't want to be using a bunch of sections all over the place. It makes your drawing dirty. So one thing that I recommend is that you only have one section and you travel with your section throughout the project. You don't want to have, you know, 300 sections floating around. It's just bad practice. So anyway, we're looking good so far. Let's now drop a urinal right here. And for that, we go again to our BIMitUp plumbing catalog. And under urinal, I'm going to take a flush shower valve urinal, and it's going to be this one right here. And again, this one doesn't rotate when you hit the space bar. So I just drop it here. I'm going to drop it at, let's say, 20 inches of elevation. And I simply rotate it 90 degrees. So I want to align it with the architect's urinal, and obviously I want it against the wall. And now we're gonna come out. Notice that this is the 2-inch connector for the sanitary drainage. You can tell which type of system it is by this little icon. You see the P-trap here? That means it's a waste or a sanitary based system. And this one is the supply, that is the cold water. Okay, so in this case I'm going to take my back outlet, and notice that right here I wouldn't be able to connect right there, right? So you have two options. You can either have a little offset, let's say this way, and then connect to this main line down here, or you could get a carrier that has not only the vent inlet but also has a waste inlet, and those are available. But in my case, I think it's gonna be easier to just connect it to the main line. And one little trick I use a lot is I click here and I temporarily hide this using HH. You need to make sure you have your keyboard shortcuts set up properly, right? And then once I make this connection, I can simply do HR for hide restore. Okay, and this type of fittings is not allowed when you're going vertical to horizontal. You're not supposed to have this short sweep type of fittings. So instead of this, what you want to have is your combination Y8 bend. Okay, and all these fittings are also available at BIMitUp.com, and they come with the BIMitUp template or with the BIMitUp pipe types Revit file. So we have our urinal connected. Let's create a vent stack here, and as you can see, when I upgraded this fitting, what I have is a vent fitting, and the reason is, I'm gonna hit undo, right? The reason is because this pipe here was under the vent pipe type, and it shouldn't have been, because this is a waste line. But that can be easily changed simply by, I'm gonna do tab select, and I select this whole run, and then I click here where it says change type. I'm gonna ignore this, and I can select my AJS waste generic, and that's it. As if nothing had happened. And then I can click on my elbow and I can upgrade, and now you can see that we have our sanitary T. You see, reducing sanitary T. So now I'm going to go to my section again, because I simply like doing this a lot. I find it very easy. I simply click here, I change this from waste to vent, and then from waste to vent. And then in this case, I don't want to create a cross here, right? So I'm going to make sure that I go under this pipe so that I can connect here, and then I extend to connect with a vent T. Okay, now we're looking good. We're just missing our wall mounted lavatories. So I'm going to go to my plan view, and let's go again to our BIMitUp catalog. We go to Alex Plumbing, Lavatories, wall mounted lavatories. It's going to be this one right here. And again, just like the toilet and the urinal, since these are not wall hosted families, sometimes they don't rotate when you use the spacebar, but you can simply, drop it here. Actually, I'm going to drop it at 30 inches of elevation, right? 30 inches of elevation, and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. I want to align with my wall, and I want to align with the architectural fixture. Now I can take my section and I can rotate 90 degrees. Let's open from my section, and we can align to the architectural fixture if we want. It's not really that important right now. And then we have a 1 1/4 inch tailpiece coming out of here. Make sure you have the correct pipe type here, which is waste generic, right? And then we have the correct system is drain, sanitary drain. We're fine there. And then one thing that I show you how to do in other videos, and it's also available at BIMitUp.com, is we have this P-trap that is categorized as an elbow, and then you can simply change it on the fly just like this. So I'm going to take it from here, and you know what, I'm going to delete this elbow. I'm going to extend this. I'm going to create a stack. It's going to be a 2-inch stack, so I'm going to change this to 2 inches, and I'm going to do trim extend from here. And then again, you could mirror the whole thing. I'm not going to mirror the whole thing because I want my hot inlet on the left side when I'm looking at the fixture, and my cold inlet on the right side when I'm looking at the fixture. So instead of mirroring all this, what I'm going to do is copy. I'm going to do create similar, right? And I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I'm rotating this 90 degrees. I'm aligning with my architectural, and I'm aligning with my wall. And what I typically do is I would have this lavatory completely piped with sanitary drainage, cold water, hot water, and make it a group. And I show you how to do that in another video. You can check it out. The link's going to be in the description. Then you will have it available here under group. See, under model, you would have a model detail that's called wall mounted lavatory fully piped. And you can simply drag and drop from here to here, and you will have everything ready to go. including the P-trap and even the stack. You can have back to back as a group and just drop it here. Okay, I'm just showing you from scratch so you get the worst case scenario. So let's go to my section, and I'm going to align to this fixture. Again, I'm dropping down. I'm going to change this elbow into a P-trap. I'm going to align to this line here. I'm going to upgrade my fitting from a sanitary T to a double sanitary T, and then we can simply drag and drop. Okay, now I'm going to delete this. I'm going to copy it up like I just did, and I'm going to change this from waste to vent. I'm from sanitary drain to sanitary vent. Now I can attach to my stack, and this is looking pretty good sanitary drain wise. So let's see, what are we missing? So out of this carrier, we have to keep going, right? And if you hold your shift key, you go orthogonal, so that's pretty useful. Okay, again, I'm not sloping this pipe. I should be sloping this pipe, but the only reason why I'm not sloping it is because this chase is mine. It's completely mine, and these carriers have adjustable plates so they can play with those inches, and all I need to do is to make sure, see, like if I measure from here to here, I have 18 feet, right? So in 18 feet, I'm not even dropping 3 inches. So if I measure, say, from here to here, I have about 18, 19 feet, and 19 feet and 1/8 of an inch of slope per foot is not even 3 inches. So whatever this pipe's gonna drop, even from here, which I'm not sloping from here, I'm sloping from here, from this point all the way here, it would be 3 inches. So I'll be wasting all that time sloping and adjusting the elevation of the carriers and all that. Completely unnecessary, because no one's gonna be in this chase. It's just me, because I coordinated my plumbing chase with my other trades.
And if you're serious about your professional training, go ahead and visit us at BIMitUp.com. At BIMitUp.com, we offer professional training and coaching in mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection systems. We can also train you in Autodesk platforms like Revit or AutoCAD MEP. So go ahead and visit us at BIMitUp.com, or send me an email directly to the email you see on screen, and let us know how we can help you achieve your professional goals.
Okay, now that we have this, again, I would have my lavatory with my cold water, hot water, the whole thing. I would copy this group completely from here to here, and then that would be done. In this case, I'm showing you just sanitary drain, and then probably in a separate video I would do domestic cold water, because it may get too long. So I'm going to do trim extend. So I need to make sure that my stack is aligned with the main horizontal line that I have underneath, and for that I click AL, align, and that's aligned. And now I can do trim extend to here. And again, this fitting is not allowed because it's a short sweep type of fitting, and we're changing from vertical to horizontal. We're going to do a detailed video on that, but for now let's just change it to the right thing, which is this. And then, you know what, we can actually copy the whole thing, including the fitting, right? We'll be saving a little time. So and now you simply extend this line and connect to this one. Okay, and now maybe what we should do is drop. Let's drop to, let's say, -1 foot, and let's keep going this way. And we cannot see our pipe here because we dropped under the slab, and we don't have, let's check our view range here. See, our view range, our bottom is set to 0, so let's just set it to, let's say, -4 feet in the meantime. And then the view depth, I'm going to set it to -4 feet. And you should definitely check my video on view range. I'm going to be releasing it pretty soon. I'll click OK, and here's my underground line. And now we have a mop sink here. But before that, now we're getting into dangerous territory. This pipe should definitely be sloped. So let's go ahead and do things right. So draw a pipe. You want to slope it down. Since this is a large pipe, we can slope at 1/8 of an inch per foot. And let's say we're going this way, and then we're turning right. Okay, if this is an elbow, it should be a long sweep elbow, but I'm not gonna do an elbow. What I'm gonna do is a combination wide bend here, so that I can put a clean out here. So I'm going to extend this, and this pipe should be sloping up now at 1/8 of an inch per foot. And this is just an example. Okay, I'm gonna have my clean out right here, 0 feet. And then this should be a combination wide bend like that. So I have a clean out here from which I could snake this main pipe. You could also have like a two-way clean out right here in the middle, so you could snake this way and that way. We talk about sanitary drainage in depth in other videos. For now, I'm just going to provide my clean out here. For that, I do cap open ends. I want to make sure that this is a long sweep elbow. No, it's not a standard one. And let's take a look at what we have so far. So we're starting here, our clean out, sanitary T. This is, let's see, what is this? This has to be a long sweep elbow, not a standard elbow. So we should probably take this pipe up a little bit, and instead of 1/6, we can have it at, let's say, 20 inches. And then we have space to change our fitting to a long sweep. Okay, now let's see, we have the vent for our first carrier, the vent for our second carrier, we have our waste for our urinal, the vent for our urinal, and now we have to extend this. And again, I can do that by clicking here, this drag, and if I keep my shift key on, then I am constraining it orthogonally. So I can do trim extends now. Trim extend. And now we're looking pretty good. Now let's drop a couple of floor drains here. So let's go again to our BIMitUp Revit families, plumbing. Let's go to drains, floor drains, generic floor drain. Let's place on work plane. And let's place it like, probably around here. You want to give a little space for the maintenance guy from the partition to be able to snake. And so this looks pretty good. Let's copy it over, and let's have another one right here. And let's also add our mop sink. So for that, I'm going to go, in this case, I'm going to go with the generic plumbing fixture. Just so you're aware that those are available as well at BIMitUp.com. For that, I'm going to go to plumbing fixtures, generic, and then it's going to be a bottom drain with water above outlet fixture. Okay, and I'm going to drop it like right here. And again, this is not a wall hosted family, so I rotate it, just doing rotate, and I specify which angle I'm rotating with. I'm going to do a line with this center line, and I'm going to show you that I can measure from here to here, and I can see that it's 2.6, right? So I can come here, edit type, and I have a few family types already defined here. One of them is the mop receptor, and I have all my plumbing fixture information already logged in into my parameters. But what I wanted to change initially was just come here to width, and we said it was gonna be 2.6. There you go. And now if you want to go the extra mile and you want to make sure that your depth is also the same that the architect specified, which is 110, you come here and then you can change your depth here to 110. There you go. And then we can align to this wall. And the coolest thing about using the BIMitUp plumbing fixture Revit families is that you can automatically create a plumbing fixture schedule, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's create a sheet. We go here to sheets, new sheet. Let's select the title block that they have by default, and here's my sheet, right? Let's close everything else for a bit. Let me click right here. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to create a copy of this, right? And this is going to be my sheet view. So how do you organize your views? By default, the BIMitUp plumbing fixture template has this project parameters here, view usage. So let's say this view right here is a working view. So I take view usage and I just change it to working view. And then the view type is going to be a drainage plotting view. Okay. And then we can come here under view, user interface, browser organization, and then we can change this discipline one. We can change it to be grouped first by discipline, then by subdiscipline, then by AJS view usage, and then by AJS view type. So when we click OK and OK, and the idea is simply that now we have our working or coordination views separated from our sheet views, which are going to be the printing views. Okay. But anyway, what I wanted to show you was the automated schedule. So let's populate our sheet. This was our sheet. Let's change the name of that. Let's call it P101. Let's say that's sanitary, drain, and vent level 1. And now we drag and drop our sheet view. And we'll adjust that later. But what I want to show you is that we can start tagging. But now let's tag these fixtures, right? For that, I'm going to go to my BIMitUp Revit families, annotation, and then let's go to the AJS fixture tag. And then I'm going to have, for now, I'm going to keep this as WC1, 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 Urinal 1, Lavatory 1, Lavatory 1, Lavatory 1. Okay. And this guy General Sink 1. Okay. Now we can select all these tags. We can filter, check none, just plumbing fixture tags. Okay. We can, take them out a little bit, let's say. Then this one, let me just take it out of the way, like around here. This one around here. And now these two guys are ADA stalls, right? So they should not be WC1, they should be WC2. So I can easily come here to edit type, and then I have its back discharge, flushometer valve, top spot, manual, but it's not standard, it's ADA, so I can select from here. And I already have my fixture remarks saying that you need to install it 17 inches finished floor to bowl rim and all this stuff. So I click OK. They turn into WC2s, and now comes a beautiful part. So now I have the BIMitUp plumbing fixture schedule file open, and then what you can see here is that I have a bunch of plumbing fixtures, and I have my plumbing fixture schedule right here, right? So one thing you can do is go ahead and copy these two schedules from here, as simple as taking it to my clipboard, and I'm going to go back to my project. I'm going to create a quick new sheet, and then I'm going to paste. And then what I have here is a plumbing fixture schedule that has been automatically created based on the BIMitUp settings. The same way I have a drain fixture schedule. You can paste it right here. So you see floor drain. I have a manufacturer, model, some remarks, and then I have all my information for my plumbing fixtures.
And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you like it down there. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you get notified. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.